And we are underway here in Huff Hall. Ball's going to be overpassed, and Philpott puts it away right off the bat to start this matchup off strong.
Well, Philpott is such a dynamic middle, does a great job protecting the nets, and those overpasses are fun to come by.
And a big smile on Philpott, a big celebration, even a big smile from our up ref there. Way to start off this match. Guaya's going to serve it over and back over to Varez, and into the middle. That's going to be a first kill of the day for Stojanovic. And the middles are a really essential part where Iowa likes to get them involved super early here in the game.
So much of the offense for Iowa has to start with the middle, so that's why the passing is so important, and then that serve-receive piece.
Guayo passes it up. It's out to DeBoer. She swings just long, and the Hawkeyes will keep the serve.
Now pay attention to the Iowa block. They know Taylor DeBoer is a powerful outside, so how they're choosing to set up against DeBoer, whether they're going to try and take her line away or her cross-court shot.
We set right back to Philpott, and once again puts it right between those passers. Almost impossible for those Hawkeyes to get there in time for a big Philpott slide.
Well, the Hawkeyes got there, but look at the space in between. There was not much, but Philpott, just quick snap of the arm to be able to beat the block.
And I'll give her some kudos, too. She actually passed that ball up. Love to see some middle action on serve receive. He passed up by Aguayo. And put right up over to DeBoer. Illinois is on a roll to start off this first set.
This is a powerful front row for Illinois as DeBoer's on the outside. Iowa putting a lot of focus on DeBoer, but Burbage being able to steal the block, creating the opening.
And looks like Philpott's going to serve that one just out. Iowa getting ready to tie. Now scores all tied up 3-3. Iowa back at the service line. And a big opportunity for the Hawkeyes to start pushing ahead early in set one. Something that they've been struggling with this season. Not many first set wins for them so far. Coach really wants to emphasize they want to start this game off fast. And they will with a huge block right over there from Whittingstall. There we see that Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week in action. And it looks like from that block there, it looks like she did a good job earning that name.
Got the block, being able to control up at the net.
Push low over to Burbage. She tips it over, keeps the ball alive. Van Zanten, it looks like she's going to get the kill on that one. Brushed off the arms of Taryn Kirsch. Van Zandt with a really long resume. This is now her fourth college she's attended, now a grad student. And this is her first year playing in the Big Ten and playing at the outside position. Boer's going to hit it over off the hands of Iowa's block. Set back over to Whittingstall, and she's going to get that one for another kill for the Hawkeyes.
The Hawkeyes trying to find something that is working well for them against this Illinois defense, and that tip area seems to be what is open for them. Sometimes it's not about powering through.
Push out to DeBoer again. But Moiseo keeps it alive. Touched by Alyssa Aguayo. In time, Illinois with a lot of hustle on that one, but Iowa with some more muscle putting that one away.
One of the things that Coach Barnes talked about was how Iowa has to start fast. They haven't been doing that very well so far this season. We're seeing a big start with the block by the Hawkeyes.
Illinois playing scrappy, but no match to Iowa's big block there in the middle.
Well, that serve obviously causing some disruption, just going right off of the net.
Be tempted to be dumped over by Phelan, but there is no getting past Whittingstall.
And Whittingstall was one that we highlighted at the beginning of this match. We talked about her hitting, but also how effective of a blocker she is in the middle.
Illinois is going to take their first time out. Whittingstall now with 3.
Pushing his team, trying to get that quick start. They've played so many 5 sets. They've won one, they've lost the other, or the other 4. And so he's just really stressing about getting a quick start for the team.
There you see Chris Thomas of Illinois' 9th season as coach of the Illini. And there we saw Burbage hit one off the hands of Iowa's block to give Illinois a serve back and get out of this serve receive that, again, kind of a struggle point for Illinois in these past few matchups.
And a quick start out of the timeout. Those timeouts can be really beneficial just to regroup and be able to get the team going again.
Set back over to Whittingstall again, putting that ball down. Whittingstall, the hot hand here for the Iowa Hawkeyes, give them this nice early lead, 6 points ahead of the Illini right now on a 7-1 scoring run. Tompkinson tips it over. And over back, that's going to be Van Zandt, puts that one away from the back row, off of the hands of Kenna Phelan back there.
And keep in mind, Van Zandt used to be a middle. She's transitioned to the outside this year, so she's super powerful. She's springy and quick and being able to get the offense.
Phelan sets it up to DeBoer from the right side, but not quite there. DeBoer's going to swing it a little far to the right out.
This time, Avery Hernandez coming in for the sub for DeBoer, more from the passing perspective.
Passed up by Hernandez and set back to Hernandez, and she's going to get the kill. Get the Illini out of another tough serve receive rotation.
When you look at the offense by both teams, Iowa on a roll, hitting 750 right now. Illinois hitting 0, hasn't broke 100.
It'll be the first service error of the day for the Illini. Second of the day for the Illini. Again, a team with a lot of aggressive servers, and their coach, Chris Thomas, often says he wants to see aggression rather than a really easy serve missed.
Yeah, easy serves allow the team, your opponent, to get that serve receive set up with the offense. But Burbage up there with the block, able to stop the Iowa production.
There's that big Burbage block, like you just said, back row attack. She kept that one so far back, that's making Iowa's defense chase out. And that one's going to be blocked by Aguayo, but ball hit the antenna. It's going to be a point for Iowa.
Illinois' block is one that is very powerful, causes a lot of frustration for opponents, but we're seeing Iowa go about it a little different. They're tipping over the block, using the hands of the block.
And Philpott tips that one over. Nice one-hand set there for Phelan. Keeps it nice and high for Philpott to get some height over that one.
It was a great adjustment for Philpott to be able to recognize just hanging up there and then just taking advantage of the open court.
And swung out by Stojanovic. Another big point for Illinois, and Coach Chris Thomas was happy about that one.
Well, we've seen Illinois, too, in the past where they're able to close the game. Just in Minnesota, they were down 21-16, able to close the gap, tie it all at 21. So this is Illinois, how they their MO and how they respond.
The kill for Warden just there, swung at the hands of Illinois' block, not quite pressed far enough over the net to keep the ball on Iowa's side. Now passed up by Kogan. He pushed out to Aguayo. She's gonna get a kill. And here's the Illini on that slow climb back up in here in this first set, just like you were talking about, Laura.
Aguayo, the strong freshman outside. She's had a really, really good freshman year for her first big-time Big Ten conference play.
There we see the middle again. Be Stojanovic putting it down for the Hawkeyes. Iowa playing very middle heavy right now. And I know that often starts with the pass. What does that say about Iowa's defense right now in this game?
Well, the defense is allowing multiple opportunities, which was a key to this game. Not only make the dig, but make a good enough dig that you're giving your team an opportunity to strike twice.
And essential to play against a very fast run Illinois offense. Now back at the service line for Illinois, Sophie Randall. Back to the right side. Varez tips it over, but it's kept alive by the Illini. Back over to DeBoer, and Iowa keeps it up. And an error there for Whittingstall. That's another point for the Illini.
So much of the middle offense is all about connection with the setter and being able to have those quick transitions. And sometimes when you see players that have that miss hit, it's just a timing issue with the set and then the player adjustment.
Illinois slowly closing this gap now. Only a 5-point difference. Randall's going to push that one to the outside, and DeBoer's going to pass that one over for a free ball. And there goes Whittingstall back in her kill column.
Whittingstall picking up her third kill. She's hitting over 300. You look at the Hawkeyes right now. Team percentage 375, but Van Zant hitting 603 kills. You're also looking at Whittingstall with over 500.
DeBoer passes it up, back to DeBoer. She swings. Kept alive and pushed back to DeBoer. Another attempt off the hands of an Iowa block. Out to the outside. Van Zant gets blocked by Ava Wysocki. Wysocki, just a freshman for the Illini. Actually, is a former teammate over on the other side with Iowa.
Yeah, that block was closed and waiting for Van Zant to go power through. We saw this in warm-ups too. Van Zant, she's new to the outside position, but she's going to try and power through a block, recognizing now that that block is steady and probably not going to be available to try and power through.
Passed up by Miss. And it's going to be another Iowa block, but Burbage punches it over. And there's going to be a swing by Ammeraal, but just too strong. That's another point for the Fighting Illini.
These are the small points that start to add together for the Illini when they start closing that gap of these points. Let's see Chris Thomas calm, not too worried about his team right now as they continue to push through.
Set, and that's going to be another kill for Whittingstall. And there we saw Ammeraal, an incredible setter for this Hawkeyes team.
Whittingstall, we've seen her in front of the setter for the start of this match, now showcasing that slide, and for Illinois having to try and move with her.
And Ammeraal right now is ranked third in the Big Ten in assists this season. She came in today with 825 assists on the season. See, Avery Hernandez now serving for Illinois. Pushed out to Warden. She's going to bag the kill, get the ball back to the Hawkeyes to hold on to this lead here in this first set.
Warden being able to swing really strong on the outside. So you look at Iowa, they have the powerful outsides to be able to put the ball down, and then they have Whittingstall, the middle, who's grabbing some points for him.
Thielen pushes it out to Aguayo. She slips it through the block for the kill. Now Iowa leading 19-15. Illinois trying to close the gap, but Iowa still staying pushed ahead.
That was a big point for Illinois as they're trying to hold Iowa out of the red zone, the first to red zone, to point 20.
There's Van Zant and pass to the Joust. Thielen pushes it out to Tompkinson. He tips it over. Back out to Warden. She's going to roll it over, and Illinois keeps it alive. Philpott swings, and Iowa recovers. Back to Warden. Goes for the line shot, but is out of bounds. Another point for Illinois.
Warden definitely was trying to go for that line because that's what Illinois was giving, just enough to make it look like that line shot was available. And reality was just missed it on the outside.
Another service error for the Illini. Puts them at 3 service errors to Iowa's 2. Now subbing in for Iowa, Jenna Meitzler. She is an Illinois native from Barrington, Illinois. Played club for Sky High Volleyball Club. Swung at by Aguayo, and another kill in the tallies for Aguayo. It's going to be her third of the day.
Aguayo can really elevate on the outside, but pay attention to feeling set. She was down to her knees trying to get that ball, and that's one thing about Kenna Phelan is she is just a true leader in being able to set the ball anywhere on the court and set her hitters up.
Yes, she can. Coach Chris Thomas likes to call her coast-to-coast setter. Doesn't matter where she is on the court, she can set that ball wherever. There we just saw a big kill by Carmo Vares. She's a freshman from Iowa. She's actually from Estonia. Be back out to Vares and flip to Philpott. Iowa keeps it alive. Back to Vares again, and she's gonna get the kill. Third time's the charm.
A lot of offense here as Iowa's gonna go ahead and get to regroup as Illinois takes time out, but they're really getting set. They have not won a first set on the road, and so this is a big side out here if they're able to get it.
Absolutely. And there we just saw for a moment on the screen Wingstall today with 4 kills and 3 blocks just in this first set. A big middle, big opponent for this Illini defense. Set to Philpott with her signature slide. She puts that one down, gets the ball back to Illinois, gets them out of that rotation.
Well, Philpott is the go-to player. She can beat a block anywhere on the court. She's super springy and fast with that slide.
Now Aguayo back to serve. Gordon keeps it alive. Push out to Van Zandt. She's going to get the kill for the Hawkeyes. Now only 2 points to go for Iowa to take this set. Illinois still trying to crawl back in.
Well, Van Zandt, you can see how high she elevates and being able to see the court where she's hitting.
Push back to Philpott and Van Zandt again with the block. You just mentioned she jumps so high, takes so much control. She was actually a high jumper back in high school, believe it or not. She was the volleyball and track district MVP. She won district championship in high jump and the 3-time regional championship in high jump. And a big kill off the hands of the Iowa block for Taylor DeBoer.
For Taylor DeBoer on the outside, she can put the ball down pretty much any time and be able to split the block of Iowa. That's the tough task for Iowa today. Philpott and DeBoer being able to stop.
Set point number 2 for the Hawkeyes. Illinois still a ways to go if they want to keep this first set going. And there it is. Oh, right off the noggin of both of us there. But
whether it works a couple of times, and then the block's going to adjust, and you have to find a different way to score a point. And so Iowa doing a really nice job of finding points.
Long rally to start this first point. Iowa keeps it alive, rolled over by Warden. Now tight over to Tompkinson, but Iowa's going to block it and take the first point here in the second set.
The defense for Illinois creating multiple opportunities, but again, the block for Iowa picking up the point.
Tompkinson passes it up, back over to her. She tries for the kill, but Warden keeps it up. Van Zandt with the swing. But Philpott, excuse me, that was Aguayo got a pancake. Kirsch keeps it alive, back over to Aguayo. Tipped down the line. That's going to be a swing from Vares, just hit far out. Illinois is going to get the ball back. Now 1-1. Start off the second set.
That was a hard-earned point for Illinois as the defense, Aguayo with the pancake, but those are the little things with the momentum that allows Illinois to pick up a point.
Set up to Vares. She swings and puts that one away at the line. Just hard enough for Kirsch to watch that one hit the floor.
Look at the power as Vares on the right side. And this is the part where Iowa has the front row that they need to get a lot of points with Vares on the right side and be able to advance on the left.
Philpott hits that ball off her forearm. and swung at by Aguayo. It's going to be kept alive. And that's going to be a point for Illinois, but Iowa says there was a touch off that one. Let's see, and Coach Barnes will challenge this call. They believe there was a touch. Laura, what did you see on that one?
It was on the opposite side of where we're sitting, so it was hard to tell, but obviously through the video, they're going to look at the direction change.
I was challenging that there was a block touch.
So looking at that change of the ball after it crosses the net and the block, that's going to be the biggest indicator of whether or not there is a touch. One thing to remind everyone, each coach is allowed 2 challenges. If you win the challenge, you get to keep it. If you lose the challenge, you lose the ability to have another challenge. Well, so you lose one.
Yes. So theoretically, there could be unlimited challenges if you stay correct. Let's take a look here. Well, I think I might see Tompkinson's finger move slightly, but
Potentially.
looks like we have
Upon further review, the call is going to be reversed. It was a touch by Illinois. Iowa retains their challenge.
So there you have it. Iowa still with both of their challenges today. Looks like, yeah, they knew right away. Looks like Tompkinson had a good idea of that one as well. It's like ball served early before the referee gave the okay.
Excitement to get the game going after the challenge.
It's like no hard feelings on that one. Everyone's laughing about it. Wow, passes short. Tompkinson with a low tip, but it's going to do the job for the Illini. Scored now tied once again. Excuse me, that's going to be 3-2. Iowa still just ahead.
Tompkinson making the right choice to tip over the block, but one thing that play started with was Aguayo passing, and she is a really strong, not only outside hitter, but the fact that she passes and targeted so much. There's a net violation by the Hawkeyes.
It's going to be Iverson-Ammeraal. Looks like when she set that ball, took her right shoulder into the net just a little bit.
Coach Barnes just wanting further understanding about what the net call was.
Looks like they were saying maybe the back of her lower back touched. Regardless, that's going to be a point. Illinois, but Iowa will take it right back as that was a big service error for the Illini.
The Illini definitely being aggressive with the serving, and fortunately for them, Iowa has had similar service errors, so you're not noticing those errors stand up as much.
Passed up by Kogan and pushed out to Aguayo. She flips it through the block and gets her team back on the service line. Point Illinois.
Well, Aguayo doing what she does best on the outside, hitting .500 right now. Not only did she pick up her 4th kill, but her 4th dig along the way.
That's a very back and forth set so far. And there's a joust. It looks like DeBoer's going to win that one. And that's an excited Illini team if I've ever seen it. Illinois taking the lead the first time this set.
Well, that's got to be a mind change for Illinois as they start this second set. Obviously, Iowa starting off so strong in that first set. Now Illinois trying to pick up the second.
He tipped over by Van Zandt. Illinois keeps alive. Out to DeBoer, but Mordeo is going to keep it up. Back over. It's going to be a little bit of a discussion here. Looks like the line judge called that one out, but the above ref number 1 believes that one was in. And a little bit of frustration here from Coach Barnes.
So the question was around whether or not the ball had gone outside the antenna, which would make it out. But Coach Barnes is saying, hey, this was not, I'm going to challenge this. I thought it hit the tape. And so they're going to review this. We're waiting for the push.
I was challenging that the ball did not hit the antenna.
All right, so we'll take some time to take a look back at this play. see if
The
we
ball
can
was
get
definitely hit out, but whether or not it was outside the antenna. So in this video, we're going to look. If it's outside the antenna, you'd not see the antenna for a flash, which right there, it does look like it might have been outside the antenna. Well, it's hard to tell. But I can understand where Coach Barnes is saying, though, as well, is that was just the tape. If there's just enough room there, it's hard to detect right now.
Yeah, from what we're seeing, too bad we don't have a little, just one more frame per second there.
Yeah,
But
the frozen. Oh, here's a good.
that looks like that was inside the antenna.
Yep, looks like it was inside the antenna and it hit the tape, and it did not.
Upon further review, the ball did not touch the antenna. The ball landed in. It will be point Iowa, and they retain their challenge.
And there goes Jim Barnes, happy with his second challenge of the day being a success. He still holds on to both of those challenges.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Maisie. It could be unlimited challenges as long as you're winning the challenges and the calls are reversed.
And I will say, I think challenges are some of my... Oh, we could have a... Never mind, we are all good. But, sorry, we were questioning if there'd be another challenge there, but... Passed up by Kirsch and out to DeBoer. She tips it over, and Warden keeps it alive. Back row, attack, and hit into the net by Van Zandt. There's another point for the Illini. Illini now lead by 1. Again, very back and forth matchup here in this second set. Going for that three-person block.
Iowa was doing the right thing by being able to have that back row attack. Van Zandt is so powerful all the way around the court. I love her story. She used to be a middle. Coach thought, you know what, you do some good things that would make you a really good outside, and so they made that change in the spring, and the positions are really different as far as timing and being able to be springy and react out of system. So good change there for Van Zandt.
Yeah, timing is a huge difference, and I think that is every young middle's dream to switch over to the outside. Swung over by Warden. Randall's going to push that out to DeBoer. But Markwart keeps it alive. Tipped over once again. And scrappy play on both sides of the net. That's going to be dumped over by Ammeraal, and that's going to be a kill for the Hawkeyes.
Keep in mind, Ammeraal, that is her first attempt, first kill with the dub, but she is the most aggressive setter in the Big Ten right now. So for Illinois, they know that. They're paying attention to her, but she has waited until the second set to attempt.
We saw back in the first set, she took a swing with her left arm, hit it just far out of the court. That one perfectly in the middle for a bonfire. Set that out to Warden. Kept alive by the Illini, and Phelan's going to take a swing at it. Going to be that back row attack. But the Illini keep it alive. DeBoer pushes it through the block, and that's another kill for DeBoer, her third of the match.
And DeBoer being really aggressive here. That block was close by the Hawkeyes, but pushing through physically and being able to swing away.
Now we have Phelan back at the service line. That gives the Illini their 3 starting hitters back at the net. That's going to be another service error for Illinois, their 5th of the day. That's a free ball over to Iowa. In a game like this that's so back and forth, how much of an impact do those unforced errors have on the outcome of these sets?
It's easy in hindsight to see how much those errors have impact, and the biggest ones right now we're seeing is the service errors on cue, as Illinois has 5 and Iowa with 3, so 8 points given to both sides between this match so far, unforced errors, unearned.
Now, Illinois has another opportunity at the service line. Avery Hernandez is going to serve it out. That's going to be 3 service errors in a row with a tied, Iowa's going to push ahead. And let's see what happens here with Warden back serving for the Hawkeyes. And she's going to make it in. Push back to Tompkinson. And that's a kill for the Illini. A lefty from the right side. Just transferred here from Texas.
Hawkinson, such a powerful arm on the right side, being able to see that vision. And the thing about her is she's got a long swing, but it is super fast when she makes contact.
Swung at by Varez and a big line drive for the kill.
Varez giving her own dose of right side attack and being able to really add to this Hawkeye offense.
Stojanovic now in the back row serving for the Hawkeyes. Hernandez passes it up back to Tompkinson and blocked by Van Zandt. And she's going to try again for the kill. Another one for Auburn Tompkinson.
Well, the kill was pretty impressive, but the one-hand set popping it up from Philpott as she goes after the ball, leaving it one-on-one for the Illini point.
Over Ward, and Philpott's going to go up for the swing, and she's going to get the point. That's going to be called as a double on Ammeraal. Now the double call has been in the works for a while now. It just changed it. From my understanding, the reason that was called a double is because she was putting it back over the net.
Yeah. Well, the fact that she went up to block, she tried to set it, and it didn't go anywhere, and then she made that second contact. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad we have you as our analyst here, Laura. Clear things up for us around here. There's another point. We're tied 11-11 here with Iowa back at the service line. Passed up by Kogan out to Philpott. She's going to be long. But they asked for the touch and they got it. That's going to be point for the Illini.
Well, those touches are hard to pick up sometimes, but obviously the line judge being able to detect that touch off of the slide.
Aguayo serving once again for Illinois. Passed up, put out to Van Zandt. But Kogan chases it down. And DeBoer rolls it just into the net. Looks like swung across her body for a tough shot there.
Iowa being able to pick up the point, but Iowa siding out at 71% compared to Illinois right now is 61.
Aguayo's going to put that one out of system ball. And DeBoer once again hits into the net. Illinois kind of looking like they want to slow some things down, regroup here.
Well, for DeBoer, those are out-of-system ball off of serve receive. This serve receive is very tough. Only option is to go to DeBoer, and so those errors can sometimes add up.
Well, Whittingstall with the block now. DeBoer tips it over. There we see that Ammeraal attempted a swing, but she hits into the net. That's going to keep Illinois in this game now 13-13.
Being aggressive, but the ball was just a little bit low, far off of the net, almost to the 10-foot line. And so the adjustment with the arm swing created the error.
See Sophie Randall in once again for the Illini, just in for this rotation. Wild passes it up. A big swing. It's tough coverage, and Iowa's gonna put it over just in time. Looks like DeBoer went to go for that overpass kill. Got blocked off.
And sometimes it's that communication piece between Burbage and DeBoer, whose ball that was. Each player has a zone that they're protecting the net. So a little confusion up there at the net.
And rolled over. Coverage by DeBoer. Aguayo with a big pass up to the middle. That one's going to be a point for Iowa. It looks like reaching over the plane of the net on that one. That's going to be the first media automatic timeout here in the match. 1st to 15 is Iowa. Illinois just behind at 13. We're going to take a quick break right here on Big Ten Plus. Moiseo back at serving for the Hawkeyes. And she's going to pick it back up. Back row attack attempt from Van Zandt. And blocked and hits back into Wysocki's head, but a strong swing against a stronger Iowa block.
Well, Alyssa Warden set up on the block. She was ready for anything the Illini were going to throw out to the right side. That was a very strong pressing block.
Moisio, the libero for Iowa. Their service error, but right now leads the Big Ten in digs. Came into today with 317. Now back to serve for the Illini. Kenna Phelan, the setter. A tight pass. And a huge swing for Warden. So much power and so much height on that one.
Yeah, Warden being able to power through for the block, but the other piece of that is the fact that Ammeraal was there to keep the Illini block having to make a decision. Remember, she's aggressive. She was back row though.
Ball's pushed back over to DeBoer from the right side, but Guayo keeps the coverage. Tompkinson swings into the block. It's tooled off, and a kill for the Illini.
Both teams working hard to try and get the offense going. Tompkinson being a left-hand swinger on the left side creates a different matchup of you for the block to have to adjust to.
Illinois stays behind by just 2 points here in this second set. Iowa took the first 25-19. Now Illinois just behind by 1. Now set over to Varas. Now back to the right side. Tompkinson tips it over. And swung at by Varas. They called that one out. And another point for Illinois to tie this second set up.
This is a really important side out for Iowa as they've had a couple of hitting errors now trying to get that serve receive. Notice Iowa kind of in a two-person serve receive against this Illinois serving.
And there's the kill they're looking for. Ammeraal really setting up their hitters to kind of run around each other, confuse that Illinois defense.
And Stojanovic trying to really split that block of Illinois and having success with the middle attack.
Tompkinson swings into the block to give the Hawkeyes another point to push ahead 19-17.
These are big blocks that are happening here for the Hawkeyes. They're reading the offense really well.
Burbage gets around the block, but it's kept alive. Warden takes a swing from the back row. Now back over to Aguayo, tips it over, and gets the kill. Ammeraal can't make it there in time. Bad on defense.
And the tip can be so deceiving. It looks like it's going to be the perfect swing, swinging hard, and just goes right over the block, creating the point.
Illinois' libero, Taryn Kirsch now serving. And it's gonna be an ace. The Illini's second of the day.
We haven't seen an ace by either team for 2 sets, and now within 3 points, we're seeing 2 aces.
And a big swing from Van Zandt, but it's kept alive by the Illini. Philpott free balls it over. Pushed out to Van Zandt once again. Still, ball is in the air. Aguayo tries to put it away, but swings just long. There's Iowa for the 20th point officially in the red zone here in the second set.
Let out a system ball for Illinois. Notice Phelan having to go to the outside and just wide on the attack.
And there's that coast-to-coast set to Tompkinson. She's going to get the kill. There's a Phelan on the opposite side of the court. A backward set to her right side. Let's take another look.
That's what makes Phelan so good is she is all the way across the net, deciding to go against the grain, essentially, cross the other pin and create the opportunity.
Now here's Kogan with the serve, rolled over. Waisaki's going to try at it. She tips it over for the kill.
This is a battle for the red zone. Perfect volleyball from each side is so important right now. not letting either team get more than 1 point side out efficiently.
Excuse me, I meant Whittingstall on that last kill. She's now at 8 on the day. Elon puts it up high for Aguayo, but she swings long. Iowa now at 22. Illinois slowing them down, taking their first time out of the set. Iowa leads 22-20 here on Big Ten Plus. Stick with us. Welcome back to Big Ten Plus. Here the Hawkeyes are leading this second set 22-20. They won the first set. Laura, now how many sets has it been in a row? 10 sets in a row the Illini have lost. Now trying to fight for this first set win in a long time. What needs to change here in these last few points of the set?
Yeah, and Chris Thomas has talked about how much he is so proud of his team for the fight. These sets that they have lost, they've been close. They've come back and they've been right there. So just those quick adjustments. Notice they're focusing on Aguayo with the serving.
Now over to Philpott with the slide. It's going to be kept alive. Tipped over. And a kill for Van Zandt. Another one to keep the Hawkeyes in this lead. Almost to a set point here in the second. Illinois running out of room. Both teams in the red zone right now.
And Van Zandt has been really powerful. She's making really smart decisions whether to hit or tip the ball.
Pass by Aguayo. And the back row a bit to Hernandez. But Iowa's defense stands strong. And look at that celebration for a huge swing by Warden. Wow.
Van Zandt. Yeah, Van Zandt. That is the reason why Coach wanted her on the left side. Look at the power that comes from that arm.
Swung by Aguayo. Iowa keeps it up. And Van Zandt is going to free ball it over. Kept alive by the Illini's defense. Aguayo tips it to the middle for a kill.
And one thing about Aguayo is she's calm and collected the whole time throughout a set. She gets excited when she gets a kill, but at the same time, she understands the job that she's out there as an outside to do and get the kill in the middle of the court.
Set point number 2 for the Hawkeyes. It's going to be a set over 2. Thanks, Josh. Iowa struggles there, and that's going to be another point for Illinois. Staying alive here in the second set.
Avery Hernandez has kind of played a vital role for the Illini. She plays back row for Taylor DeBoer, but she used to...
Chris Thomas wants him to serve aggressive. Do you think here they keep that aggressive serve, or do you think they keep the ball in?
The point of the serve, yes, you want to be aggressive, but it's that point, and that's the serving rule. Get the ball in play, pick who you're going to serve it to, pick a seam, and defend the ball.
Now Aguayo, the freshman, with the serve here for Iowa. Set point, she makes it in. Have to push out to Philpott. The slide, but Kogan keeps it alive. Out short tap to Hernandez in the front row. Dumped over, and that's going to be the kill from Ammeraal that gets the Hawkeyes the second set win. Now set number 3 underway. Elon will kick it off for the Illini. This will be a one-hand set over to Stojanovic, but she swings into the net. Illinois starts with the first point of this match.
Kayla Burbage watching, paying attention to the setter, making sure that she is available to both the setter and the set.
And an ace for Phelan. A big way to start out this third set if the Illini want to stay in this one.
Well, again, focusing on where the serve is going, in between the seams, who are they targeting to get some point?
Serve once again over to Warden. Swing from Stojakovic, but the Illini keep it alive. 3-balled over by Hernandez. And a big hustle from that swing off of Varez, but she's going to get the kill.
Noticing that Illinois has made the adjustment for the front row, so Hernandez trying to get a good piece of that ball on the block. But Hernandez now on the outside starting.
Now, on the outside, Auburn Tompkinson, a nice easy roll for a kill, keeping the Illini ahead.
Tompkinson, when she's in this rotation, hitting the left side, she's had success. That left arm, a lot of focus being up there. Aguayo now up in the front row.
Strong serve by Hernandez in a middle attack, but Burbage blocks it. Another try, Burbage gets her hands on it. Pushed out to Aguayo, she puts it down in the corner for an Illini kill.
Aguayo makes it look so effortless in the sky, flying through the air. Look at the set going all the way through, gets that target, splits the Hawkeye block.
Hernandez serving again to the outside, and that's going to be another kill for Van Zant.
Well, Van Zant is her own share of powerful on the outside, and that's the accept too. Accept that certain players are going to get their kills. What are you doing to slow it down, or maybe not have as many kills?
Markwart serving for the Hawkeyes. Push out to Aguayo. She's going to use the hands of that Iowa block. Back out to Van Zant, and another kill back to back.
Right now, it's just the outside showcase for Illinois and Iowa, as both outside hitters getting lots of opportunities.
Van Zant hitting 10 kills on the day, leading her team. And there's another one for Whittingstall on that overpass.
And Whittingstall picking up her 9th kill with the overpass, ready and able to react. Notice the two-step, quick two-step up in the air for the kill.
Feeling late to the ball, but gets there. Aguayo rolls it to the middle for a kill, keeping Illinois just ahead here in set 3.
Being able to keep the defense on their toes is what is creating those opportunities. So Aguayo so strong of a hitter physically, and then mixing it up with the roll shot.
Pushed out to Van Zant. And looks like out of bounds. No touch on that one. Ball stays with the Illini.
Coach Barnes questioning it just for a second to see if Tompkinson would have had any touch on that, but it was quick to say there was no touch.
And there's an attack attempt at that overpass, but Iowa recovers. Ball is swung far out of bounds. Another point for the Illini.
We're starting to see the Illini setting the tone for this third set. They're being aggressive. Their defense is helping them create extra plays.
Van Zant's going to recover that one for the Hawkeyes. Push out to Aguayo. Philpott recovers, but Phelan keeps it alive. Kirsch hits the ball over. Now Iowa out to Van Zant. And a big pass for Hernandez out to Tompkinson. She puts that one down for the Illini. Another kill for Tompkinson, her 7th of the day.
What you saw the Fighting Illini doing was staying patient throughout that rally. They got the free ball, get it to the right side. Tompkinson turning that left line.
Illinois now on a 4-0 scoring run. And there's a tip over. But Kirsch gets there in time. Free ball sent by Aguayo. An opportunity for the Hawkeyes. Van Zant swings, but Hernandez gets there. Tompkinson tips, and Iowa recovers. Van Zant again, and recovered by Tompkinson. And that ball is going to be just out of bounds. And Thomas is going to talk to the down ref. Make sure they agree, but the ball will go over to Iowa. Van Zant serves into the net, ball back to the Illini.
Well, for Iowa, that's an unfortunate service error, working so hard to try and get a point as Illinois just continues to add the pressure with their serving and offense.
They're passed up by Zio and his back. That's going to be point for the Illini. Swung just out, but they want a touch call on that one.
As think there's going to be a challenge here as the Hawkeyes were quick to say there was a touch off of the left block. Now, whether or not this can be
Iowa is challenging that there was a block
fully
touch.
reversed, we'll check out the footage.
Yeah, again, they did want that one right away. We saw earlier today, Jim Barnes had 2 challenges earlier, was successful on both. So still, right now, taking another challenge. As of now, he's still good with his 2. Be interesting to see.
So much of that goes off of what the coach sees themselves, but also watching the response of their team right away. They felt like there was a block touch. I think we're watching the hands of Aguayo. She was the one that was lined up most to be able to touch the ball with that attempt.
Let's see.
She's the one closest to us. As you see, the Philpott was late to the block, so she's the second contact when it was already going out. So the first contact would have been with Aguayo.
And it's hard to see from this angle. Let's take a look from another. See if we can see any movement or shift changes as the ball's hit.
Not hard to tell from that video. Obviously, this one taking a little bit longer to review.
And it's important to note, if there is not enough evidence to overturn the point based off of the reviews, the call will stand. We're not seeing the exact same thing the down ref is looking at this moment, but it'll be interesting to see what he comes up with, because very hard to tell from what we're looking at here, Laura.
Yeah, this might be a good advantage here to see.
And still, if not a call that goes in the Hawkeyes' way, nice timeout to slow down the Illini as they lead by 5 points. Here as the Hawkeyes won the first 2 sets. See, we may be coming to a decision soon here. Looks like ref has taken just a little bit longer to look over this one. Laura, what are these longer just reviews kind of usually turn out to be? Do you think it could be overturned, or do you think he's making sure there's not enough evidence
Well, not
to overturn?
only are they looking at whether or not there's a touch, they're also validating if there is a net.
Upon further review, the original call on the court is confirmed. No touch. Iowa loses the challenge.
So there you go. Iowa losing their first challenge of the day. Now only 1 challenge remaining left in this match. The Illini will keep their point. It's going to be 10-5. How big is this momentum shift for Illinois here in the set?
It's definitely different than the first and second set where you feel one team just really controlling the tempo.
Set out to Ward, and she swings tough and puts it away. Ball right back to Iowa.
That's a really good response for the Hawkeyes. Being able to, wasn't necessarily a perfect pass, but being able to adjust, go right outside that cross-court shot block.
As we served into the net, 3-point back to the Illini. They look excited about that one.
And now the Hawkeyes are leading the service error category with 7 missed serves. Illinois with 6.
See Taylor DeBoer back at the front line there for the Illini. Seeing her and Avery Hernandez switch out. Gordon with a swing. DeBoer tries to pick it off her high hands, but hits the ball out. That's going to be another kill for Warden.
A little bit switch here for the Illini as they bring DeBoer back in, trying to get that defensive dig off of that really sharp cross-court shot from Warden.
Aguayo takes the first pass out to DeBoer, tips it over. Now LeBaro's going to set over to that right side. It's going to be... Excuse me, it's going to be...
Arnold.
Well, I don't know. So, thank you. I don't know why I can't find her. Varez, the freshman. And feeling it off Warden's head, the setter with a big swing.
And Phelan's a little bit different. She's not an aggressive server, so seeing her swing, she can swing with the big ones. She's only standing at 5'7", but she is up there in the air defending the Illini net.
See, big middle swing. She's going to push it through for the kill. Lots of power behind that one. She fell to the ground.
Stojanovic just really being aggressive up there at the net, and this is what the Hawkeyes need. They need a couple of points to be able to stay aggressive.
Big swing for DeBoer. She's going to get a kill right back on track for the Illini.
It's good for DeBoer. She's been out a couple of rotations and taking a big swing to that deep corner shot.
Now Phelan back to serve. And a full front row line for Illinois. And a lot of hustle for Aguayo. She's going to keep it alive. And Tompkinson puts that one down straight across the court. Nowhere for the Hawkeyes to move.
Tompkinson all smiles. Aguayo creating that opportunity with a one-hand dig on that line.
Tompkinson, her 8th kill on the day. And what a powerhouse for this Illini squad. Rolled over. Kirsch gets there. Back over to DeBoer. A big swing. Just long.
I think there's enough of a Hawkeye presence on the outside that DeBoer's trying to hit those high hands. And in doing so, she's hitting long and up and over the block.
Stojanovic back serving. And tipped over by Van Zandt. There we see that big vertical we talked about earlier.
Van Zandt from the middle. She also, being a former middle, she's reacting really well along the net. She knows what the anticipation is going to look like.
That's served out. Free point for the Illini. I do want to point out with Van Zandt, it's hard to tell she is only 5'11". That's shorter for Big Ten play, but you would not be able to tell by her style.
No, the vertical that she provides to her hitting is what really kind of separates her in the Big Ten, being able to have that high reach.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead, take a break here as we're in a timeout. You're in the 3rd set on Big Ten Plus. Stay with us.
Help with, and on that side against Tompkinson for Illinois, it's really been a tough challenge for her, but she has really stepped up with her blocking game.
Absolutely. A grad student with plenty of experience around the NCAA and junior college ball. She's going to go ahead and free ball this one over. Passed out to Aguayo with a huge swing and a kill. Ball passed all the way out to the pack stands here of Hall.
Aguayo fighting for that freshman year award for the Big Ten. Look at how calm and collected she is with this conference.
Kept alive over. Varez is going to put that one down for another kill. Keeping the Hawkeyes in this one. Now Illinois leading 16-12. There she goes. Varez, her 7th kill of the day. Hernandez passes it up. Phelan's going to give it to Tompkinson, but she's blocked. Hernandez and Kirsch. That's going to be Phelan and Kirsch. Not sure who's going to take that one. Let it fall to the floor.
Van Zandt lining up perfectly against Tompkinson, being able to get that block. And that Tompkinson getting after her teammates, like, you have to cover me. I'm making big swings up here.
Another big swing for Tompkinson, but swings that one far, almost knocks the border over. Illini still stuck in this serve receive. What we've seen has kind of killed them in their past few matches. Tipped over by Burbage and blocked by Burbage. She's big on that one. She was hungry for a block there.
It is so frustrating when the center is aggressive and getting points, and Burbage reading it perfectly, ready to see that was going to come over, and she knows she got it.
And Ammeraal didn't look too happy about this one. We're going to see some more big battles there in the middle, I'm sure. And we're going to go see a back row attack attempt, but it's blocked off. It's the slide attempt, but she's going to stay right there at the right side. And a big kill for Van Zant.
Van Zant adding to the side out percentage for Iowa. Now siding out at 62%.
So back row attack. Hernandez going to try to tip it over, but that is going to be... She looks like she stepped over that 10-foot line just a little bit. Can't jump and hit the ball over from that point.
You can land after the 10-foot line, but your approach to hit the back row attack has to begin before the 10-foot line.
Passed up high by Aguayo. Back over to Aguayo. She's going to tip it over. The Hawkeyes reset. Warden tries to tip that. She pushes it off of Tompkinson's block for a point.
Warden has just been Warden has been super aggressive with this block against Illinois, whether we've seen the hard cross-court hit or just using the block. We're going to clean up the area here where Tompkinson fell.
And now the Hawkeyes climbing back in this one now. The Tide score 17-17 Illinois. We're going to take their first timeout of the set. Stay right here with us to finish out this one on Big Ten Plus. You hear the fans stuffed in here at Huff Hall. The sold-out crowd, a big dig kept alive. And free ball over by Ammeraal, Illinois with a chance. Philpott with a big swing, and Hernandez recovers. Now Tompkinson with a right tip and puts it down. Gets the ball back in the hands of the Fighting Illini.
This is the battle we've seen most of the day. The left side, right side matchups for both sides. Tompkinson taking advantage of it with a nice roll tip right over that Iowa block. Keep in mind, Iowa has put the pressure on Illinois with their blocking. Iowa 9 blocks so far to 3.
Now Kenzie Kogan serving for Illinois. And he's going to get there. It's going to be a slide attempt there. She's going to get the kill off of Philpott's block.
You see Iowa going from pen to pen, trying to get some offense going and really working hard against that Illinois defense.
Scores all tied up again. Kogan puts it up. And Aguayo's going to try for the short tip, but Warden is there. Another tip over. Philpott down with the ball. Open corner. And the Illini stay in this one, pushing ahead 1 point.
Phelan sold that set perfectly. As she went up, she looked like she was jump setting, could potentially attack, and then set Philpott.
Aguayo back serving. And a back row attempt. It's going to be tipped over by Van Zant, but Illinois recovers strong. And a huge swing for Taylor. DeBoer on the outside. And another kill on the board for the Illini.
And DeBoer doing a one-step outside attack. That ball was set really far inside, so doing the best she can and adding all the power.
Illini the first to the red zone, now leading 20-18. And a low serve for Aguayo. It's an ace.
Iowa putting a lot of pressure here on the Iowa Hawkeyes. Serve receive.
Which isn't even a grand lead in this matchup. Aguayo serving again right off her last ace. But a good recovery there for Ammeraal. DeBoer with the big swing. It's going to be tight. Philpott swings over the block. And again, talking it out. Phelan sends it over to DeBoer. Puts it down for a kill.
One reason Phelan is so good is she does not sell where she's going with the set. It's the last second. Because of that, the split block, and DeBoer being able to pound it down.
Aguayo still serving. She's on a 3-0 scoring run, but there is the error. Ends that one. Gives Iowa their 19th point of the set. And Illinois has not much turnaround time here to get this ball back to keep their lead. Now, Jenna Meitzler serving for the Hawkeyes. Guile passes this one up out to Philpott, and it's going to be a kill. A slide for Philpott seems to be a kill almost every time.
It sure does, and especially in this rotation against Warden right now. She's just one on foot trying to use the block, and she was successful.
Here's this rotation we see. Excuse me, we see Sophie Randall in this rotation to serve for the Illini. Even kind of feeling a quick break. That ball looks like it was served in, but the referees say it was out. Chris Thomas is going to challenge it. His first of the day.
Well, the reaction from the crowd might have helped with being able to decide if they're going to challenge it. It's also not a bad time to challenge. Get with your team, discuss further, but yeah, that was a quick call as far as the challenges. We take a look at it, and as it slowed down,
that ball
you get a
was
really good
in.
view.
Upon further review, the call will be reversed. Ball in, point, Illinois. They retain their challenge.
And the Illini fans are happy about that one. They're going to keep that ball, keep them in the lead, just 1 point away from a set point. Now the fans at Huff Hall are on their feet. Keep the Illini going in this critical time here in this matchup. And a big overpass for DeBoer. It's going to give the Illini set.
And one thing to note too is Iverson-Ammeraal has had 9 attempts in this match so far, 4 errors and only 2 kills.
Tipped over by Tompkinson. Looks like Faraz is going to take the tip over again for Tompkinson. She's going to get the kill to start this 4th set off for Illinois.
Tompkinson, that left-hand swing on the left side in this rotation. She is 100%, or I should say 1,000% every time on the outside.
Hernandez back to serve, a tough one for Illinois, and that's an ace for the Illini. That's going to be the 6th ace of the night for Illinois. We've said it before, but the Illini like serving tough, and we see why. Joe's Warning gets it up this time, pushed out, and swung out long by Van Zandt. That's another point for the Illini, but looks like we might have some disagreement with the down ref. Excuse me, the line judge. But we'll move forward and keep the point with Illinois.
Yeah, and our top official is going to say, that's my call. It was right in front of me, and there was no touch.
That's another ace for Hernandez. Serving to Warden is helping her out, but they're going to get Warden out of this game. Sub her in for Schleister, excuse me.
Well, the aggressive serving, finding a new spot on the court to go after, making the serving super aggressive is another ace for Hernandez.
And there's the hat trick. 3 aces for Hernandez back at this one line. And Iowa's going to call a timeout from this Illinois 5-0 serving run to start out set number 4. Stick with us right here on Big Ten Plus.
It's a little more predictable on where they're going to go.
That's going to be a big old swing from Stojanovic, but swung out long, and Illinois keeping the ball with Hernandez at the service line, which they all seem perfectly fine with.
Well, and each hitter feels a little more of that pressure every time they get set the ball when you're trying to just get the side out.
And there's that side out. It's going to be Van Zandt putting it down once again for the Hawkeyes, keeping them back in this one, hoping to get some momentum back on their side.
And Van Zandt picking up her 14th kill, hitting 278.
Hernandez with the pass, and Burbage with a swing and a kill. Burbage been looking for that one. I believe that's her 2nd on the day.
And Burbage's presence has been more along the net with the blocking, setting the tone for the blocking scheme, not so much much of the offense.
Back Taryn Purse serving, and it's going to be in the net. A point for Iowa. That's going to be Illinois' 8th service error of the day. Iowa with 7.
And this is that passing scheme where Iowa has been focusing on Aguayo in serve receive.
Aguayo passes it up. Quick set to Philpott. It's kept alive. Sent over by Aguayo, and that's still in play. And there's the kill for Van Zandt. What a recovery for the Hawkeyes. The Illini staying scrappy, but the Hawkeyes are going to capitalize on that one.
And the Hawkeyes feel comfortable with Van Zandt on the outside, being able to get the kills. She's leading the team right now with 15 kills.
There's that overpass. Iowa scrambling to keep it alive. Van Zandt does it. She goes up again. Hernandez is picking up everything Van Zandt is putting over. Now it's going to be a slide attempt. It's going in. Another kill on the sheet for Whittingstall.
And Whittingstall going behind the center. Notice the big gap that is available. She could have gone cross quarter down the line, and down the line, not covered all the way to that deep corner.
A very impressive line swing, placed in the perfect spot. Aguayo passes that one up, and a communication error. Philpott keeps it alive and in play. Blocked off by Auburn Tompkinson, and there she is showing off that height of hers, standing at 6'5".
That's a lot of height, but also you think about the wingspan, the arm being able to reach above the block and take advantage of it.
Passed up, set to the middle. And oh my goodness, what a swing from Phelan. I almost felt the wind from that one.
Well, Phelan's creating a feeling here for the Illini, which is being aggressive. Both of these setters now starting to make that impact for their team.
Pushed out to Van Zandt. It's going to swing long, and another point for Illinois. The Illini now leading 10-4 here in the fourth set, taking control. This is a huge difference from what we saw in those first 2 sets. And there's that killer swing by Ammeraal that you've been looking for quite a bit today, Laura.
Yeah, Ammeraal, one has been just kind of had some errors when she's swinging, but notice how long she kept it hidden. You couldn't pick up quick enough on when she was getting ready to swing.
And that ball is served out. Point for the Illini now. These teams are even 8 service errors each at this point in the game. There's not much room for unforced errors. Aguayo serving again. It's going to be kept alive by Ammeraal, pushed over. But that's going to be a nice, easy point for the Illini. That's a double on Van Zandt.
And that double contact, everything's got to be clean. Going over the net for that third contact. And now this year with the NCAA, they've been cracking down on the second contact as well.
Flat serve from Aguayo to be put away by Whittingstall.
And Whittingstall starting to be that one that's coming up in the kills to go-to on the right side. Well, she's middle, but going off of the right side attack, picking up her 12th kill.
Slipping right through that Taylor DeBoer block. Big pass by Aguayo, tipped over by Phelan, but Iowa's keeping it alive. And Warden's going to want to put that one down. Big kill, and there's that aggression we've been seeing from her all day so far.
And what we're seeing now is that side-out game, 1-for-1, and both sides just over 55%.
Hogan gets it up, and Philpott puts it down. Straight away, bang, bang, bang. Philpott is going to get that one down every single time.
Well, Philpott is so good on the slide and being able to adjust to the block. If there's just the slightest opening, she's able to get that ball in.
Randall serving. Orden with the pass right back to her. Big swing off the noggin of Phelan. It's going to be a kill for Warden. That's going to be her 8th of the day.
Phelan have a little bit of a headache off of that block from the forehand, but you think about Phelan, she is 5'7", and she took that block off of her head.
She's an aggressive blocker at that height, but her swinging is so powerful too. It's very impressive. A lot of effort from Phelan, but can't quite get it in time. Iowa starting to crawl back in this one.
And defending this serve, they have the right line up here at the front row. Warden ready on the outside.
Meitzler serving. Passed up by Aguayo out to Burbage, but Iowa's in the net. Down ref says Iowa's in the net. That's going to be a point for the Illini. Let's take a look back.
Coach is arguing the fact that he felt like the ball brought the net into the hands of the Hawkeye players, as we see just a quick replay of this. So some further discussion here occurring.
And just to be clear, no official challenge has been called yet and will not count against. This is just Barnes discussing with the down ref what he saw. It appears there will be no challenge, and Iowa still standing with one left in this match. Never
He's
mind.
going to challenge it.
And there's that announcer's jinx. He's going to challenge it. This is his final challenge of the match if the call still stands.
Iowa is challenging that there was no net violation.
We took a couple looks at this before. Let's see it again, maybe a little slower. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be picked up pretty well, that Warden was in the net at that point with the forearm.
Yep, I feel like this is going to be a pretty quick review.
And I think at the time, Coach was thinking the call was against Stoinovich, because she came around, she's like, I was not on the net. That's where the ball crossed. But upon review, anything can be looked at, and that's what Warden.
The call is confirmed on the court. Iowa loses their second challenge, and they are out of challenges.
That's a crucial challenge there, as Coach Barnes has lost both challenges now, so no further challenges will be available to Iowa.
Yeah, so Jim Barnes not happy about this. He's very adamant that there was no touch in the net. However, we did see in our replay that her arm was touching the net. Now back into play, a big old block from Tompkinson. Now what a fight for these Illini.
Tompkinson going in strong, and this is the piece where now Iowa, they just found out they've lost their challenges. How do they reset, start climbing back?
Now in volleyball, momentum is a huge killer, and right now a bad call like this can sometimes discourage a team, but it looks like Stojanovic is going to power through that.
Stojanovic really taking a nice shot in the middle of the court, going down to the court.
Warden serving again. Out tip by DeBoer. It's going to be another swing by Varez. Now back to DeBoer, and still alive, but it's going to be lost. And there we go. Illinois still keeping this one going. Illinois now leading 16-10.
What's interesting about DeBoer's shot selection is Iowa is putting up more of a split block because they're not able to close out because of how well Phelan is disguising her sets.
Tight pass by Warden. It's kept up, but not to worry. That one's going straight out. Really good attempt by Moiso in that one, and Iowa is going to go ahead and take their first time out of set number 4. Illinois now leading 17-10 here in the fourth set, keeping in this match. Stick with us right here on Big Ten Plus.
Been a fun environment in here, lots of noise.
Hernandez now serving again. Just saw her last rotation served 3 aces on her run. Tough tip by Burbage, now back to Van Zant, and blocked down by Burbage.
That's a huge block on the right side for the Fighting Illini. Tompkinson standing 6'5", Burbage at 6'3", patient and waiting against Van Zant.
It's going to be 4 blocks for Burbage and Tompkinson today. Crawling back up, that ball's just over. And now out to Van Zant, kept alive by Phelan. Over to Aguayo, tipped and pushed out to Vares. And that's going to be a little bit of an error for the Illini, a kill for Vares.
And that's the momentum piece that Vares is looking to get going as, Van Zant continues to keep going.
It's a big swing for Aguayo. She's going to give this one right back to her team, and now putting Illini ahead 19-11.
A lot of times we see more finesse from Aguayo. She knows when to swing strong. She knows when to take her time. And then she sees that split block. She goes for it.
Showing the IQ that just a freshman can have in Big Ten volleyball. Van Zant with the tip, kept alive by Phelan. Back over to Tompkinson. A huge swing, but that one's going to be high and out. But turns out I was wrong. There was a call. And there was a touch off of that swing.
Keep in mind, even if the Hawkeyes don't like the call, they're out of challenges to be able to say there was or was not a touch.
Illinois now in the red zone, 20 points. What a recovery for the Hawkeyes. Out, that one's going to be swung out, but Upref is going to call it a touch off of the Hawkeyes, but unfortunately, they are out of challenges, so there's no way that there can be a formal review on this play. The Hawkeyes really taking this one. The Illini having fun with it, we see, but the Hawkeyes taking this one hard. So we're reaching the end of the 4th set. The Illini leading by 10 points. Vares taking the swing and a big old kill to get her team back on track.
Well, Karma Vares has really come alive in this last set, trying to find points for Iowa to get excited about. It's hard when they feel like everything's kind of going against them, the points haven't, the challenge, so forth.
Marquardt with a tough serve, set back over to Tompkinson. She has the idea, but tips it just short and straight into her own net, but she's laughing this one off. They've got plenty of room to come back from that.
Sometimes those just happen. All you can do is smile and be like, okay, send me the next one.
Set by Aguayo, back to her and down the line. That one's a big old kill for the freshman. That's her 12th of the day, now leading the Illini in kills.
And the Hawkeyes not leaving any room for Aguayo to be able to hit that line, but she just finds a way to be able to swing as hard as she can down that line.
So that's chased down by Ammeraal and out of system. Going to be free balled back to that corner. Kogan gets it, and holy smokes, Philpott cannot be touched off of 1 foot.
And if it feels like the Illini are dominating right now, that is because they are with their offense hitting 476.
And leading by 10 points. There's a short serve. And there's a big swing and a kill for Van Zant. And she's a player that these Hawkeyes know. Got the ball to her. She's going to do a good job putting it away. The problem is they have to be able to defend Illinois' really strong offense. There's a tough serve, and that's an ace for Van Zant.
Good strong serve of Van Zant, causing the Illini to have to shift just a little, right in between the seams. See how much movement Illini had to make to try and close that.
Very powerful float serve skyballed up by Aguayo. They're going to give it back to her. She tips it deep corner, but recovered well. Warden's taking the swing. Kogan takes it with her hands. Roll shot by Aguayo. Back over to Warden. And the Illini keep it alive. Nice and easy. Aguayo again. And there it is. That kill with a big exclamation point on that one.
Aguayo has come alive in this third set. Now picking up her 13th kill. And she's just feeling super comfortable out there.
And Huffall is on their feet for set point for the Illini, and now leading 24-15 in the fourth. And there is an ace for Aguayo to win the fourth set of the day. It's on to 5 for Iowa and the Illini.
Zone volleyball. Everything needs to be perfect, 1 point at a time.
And there's a block to start that one off. It's DeBoer and Burbage to get it started.
Burbage has been working hard all afternoon with her blocking. We talked about her offense, but she is patient up at the net.
It's going to be Burbage's 5th block of the day. Really picking it up since the last 4 games we've seen the Illini play. It's going to be Warden taking the swing, and she's getting the kill down the line and a touch at the net.
And lots of back and forth we anticipate for this 5th set as Warden picks up that 2nd kill. One thing to keep in mind, Iowa is in their 7th 5th set game. Illinois, their 2nd.
There's DeBoer with a big swing, but Iowa keeps it up. There's Warden trying, and that's going to be double contact, and Iowa's going to take the point. Iowa takes the first lead here, 2-1 in the 5th set.
We're going to have a challenge here up at the net, whether or not
Illinois is challenging that there was a net violation.
a net violation up at the net. So we'll go back to review. Chris Thomas was pretty quick to call that, so obviously he saw something up in that rally. Not seeing anything off of that play, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's where the net violation's being looked at.
Let's see. Because we did see the ball shake, the ball hit the net. The net started to shake. See if there was one maybe sooner.
Upon further review, there was a net violation on number 4. The point is going to be Illinois, and they retained their challenge.
Okay, so quick recap. Number 4's in the net. You can see the net move trying to go up against Burbage, thinking that was going to be an overpass. And that was Ammeraal.
Ammeraal looks like forearms hit the net earlier in the play, but that's not going to get past Coach Chris Thomas. Ammeraal, very aggressive setter at the net. We see her want to keep that ball on their side, but Illinois is going to keep the lead at 2-1. And there you go. Serve is out. Score is tied back up at 2-2. This game to 15, 1st to 8 is the goal. There we see service errors. Illinois with 9, Iowa with 8. Hernandez going to pass that one up out to Tompkinson. And that's a point for the Illini. It looks like they touched that one at the block and went out.
And keep in mind, this is a 5th set, so Coach does have a challenge from Iowa, and he is going to use it right now. His players turned around and said that ball was in, off of the block.
All right, again, here we go. Things are getting intense here in Huffall.
They are.
So again, challenging that the ball was in. Let's see if we can get a look here. It's hard to see that. Oh yes, they did touch it. And
it's hard to tell, but any part of that stripe is going to count in. So if you look at the review, obviously the net causing the ball to go into the blocker's hands.
Upon further review, the call will be reversed. Ball in, point Iowa. They retain their challenge.
A really good challenge. I mean, from my eyes, I think that one really could have gone either way, but looks like there was enough evidence to say that that ball was in. It was touching the line. So it's going to keep Iowa with that point, now leading 3-2. And there you go, Illinois with the point. Another service error for Iowa. It's going to be 9-9 service errors.
And keep in mind, after each team has won the challenge, they've had a serving error to offset the challenge win. So it's been interesting fifth set.
It is, it is. She's going to pass it up. Her team's calling it out. Here's the swing from Varez. Puts it down. Gets a kill for the Illini.
Iowa now just hitting back to 0. Just before Varez killed, they were hitting negative 300.
Varez now at 10 kills on the day. Wyo keeps that one up. Tompkinson tips it over, but Varez is there to cover. Warden from the back row, and Tompkinson blocks it. Varez is going to free ball it over. Here's an opportunity for the Illini. Out to Aguayo, and recovered by Moiseo, but still alive. A lot of shaking at the net. And Tompkinson with a big swing, but it's out and a point for the Hawkeyes.
We're going to have another challenge. Chris Thomas said it was right along that sideline. He felt like that ball was in, so he's now going to challenge that ball was in.
Illinois is challenging that the ball was in.
And Chris Thomas seemed pretty confident about that one as well. Let's take another look.
It's just outside our screen.
He had a little longer on that one.
What's interesting is Coach Barnes was right on the sideline as well, and Chris Thomas was on the sideline. So they both were on the side of the call to whether or not that ball was in or out.
Yeah, and from what we're seeing, looks very, very close. But I think it might be on the line here.
I think you're right. They're showing the replay here in Huff Hall. And you heard the crowd talking about seeing the replay.
I feel like this ball is on the line, but again, it comes down to the referee, and what they say is enough evidence to overturn this call.
And it's hard to tell with the shadow if we're seeing the ball take away the blue in it or if it's just the shadow.
Another angle a little higher up. So hard to tell.
Entertaining to watch. Both teams are standing watching the replay, and they both have different reactions right now whether or not this ball was in play.
I will say, I commend this down ref a lot. I would not like to be in his position, being in between these two teams on these really tough calls like this. It's very hard to tell.
Now, Chris Thomas is in a different position with his challenges.
Upon further review, the call is going to stand. Illinois loses the challenge.
Looks like not enough evidence to reverse the call, which I think I could sort of see coming. It was very difficult to tell, and like you said, Laura, difficult to see if that was a shadow on the floor or if that was a little bit of blue. Regardless, this will be a point for Iowa, leading 5-3 in this fifth set. And a big response from Auburn Tompkinson.
And makes sense for feeling to Stella Tompkinson after the discussion of whether or not a kill was in or out, and she left no doubt in the middle of the court upon that swing.
I always say sometimes the ball never lies. I think that could have been one of those situations. Out to Varez, another big swing, and what a dig by Kogan. Out to Varez again, but off of Aguayo's hands. Pushed back out to Aguayo. What a swing and a kill for Aguayo all over that ball.
As Aguayo gets more playing time in the Big Ten, you start to see her confidence in being able to go against these big blocks. She did not have a whole lot of room. That set was low. She went swinging anyway.
One thing Coach Thomas often says about Aguayo is sometimes she's a very young player. She's only a freshman. But she has a really good mindset to turn it around. If she plays a rough game, she turns around, gets back on top. But there we just saw another big kill from Van Zant. keeping this race really, really tight between the Hawkeyes and the Illini. Out to Aguayo, tipped over and picked up by Van Zant. Out to Varez, and it's blocked. Out to Van Zant again. Kogan trying to cover it, but can't contain the power of Van Zant's swings.
And Illinois is going to take a timeout after the Van Zant kill. 17 kills so far for this match for Van Zant. Really taking the team upon her shoulders, leading.
Absolutely, and here in this timeout, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here in the 5th set. Stay with us. This one's getting crazy. The crowd is going wild. We're going to go ahead and take a look at these upcoming schedules. Iowa will be playing Indiana and Purdue, a road trip for the weekend. Then they'll be heading back to Northwestern, Minnesota, and Nebraska. Just lost to Northwestern last night. The first 4 of those matches will be on Big Ten Plus. Now over to Philpott. There's that slide in the kill. Can't go wrong with a slide set to Philpott.
Philpott off of that 1 foot. We've seen it all afternoon, and there is still not an answer for Philpott on the slide.
Still waiting for that first team to get to 8 points. Now Aguayo back at the line with 2 aces on the day. Out to DeBoer, rolls it to the middle, and just short for Moiseo did not get there in time.
And DeBoer being really smart with her shot selection, recognizing that was a low set, comes in, nice roll shot over the Iowa block. Good response coming off of the timeout. We talk about how those are opportunities to reset as a team, get your ideas going forward and how you're going to handle it.
Absolutely, and just lucky the ball rolls over, stays in play. Big swing from Van Zant, but no match for that Illinois block. That one's hit out. But Iowa says there's a touch. They're going to take a challenge on this one. I'm just going to say it, I think it's a good idea to challenge this one here.
Well, definitely the Hawkeyes, as soon as the swing was completed, they were saying there was a touch on that. Touches are so hard to see in the moment. It's nice that we have the challenge system, but you can see right away that the Hawkeyes, as soon as that, I was reviewing the play, looking at whether or not DeBoer touched that ball. DeBoer's on your closest to the screen. Watch her fingers as this ball goes over. And you can see some movement in those fingers. Usually that means there's contact. And that's what the down official is going to be checking on the review.
Yeah. And I will say off the bare eye, I think I did see the ball kind of move up, switch direction a little bit. But again, has to be conclusive evidence. So this call can be overturned if that so all comes down to this referee.
Upon further review, the ball was touched. Point Iowa. They retained their challenge.
So Iowa keeps their challenge alive.
But Illinois is going to take, well, now switching sides now that we've reached 8 points here in the 5th set. Now, Iowa with this really short lead of just 1 point. How does Illinois keep some momentum? Because they were really holding on for a while here. Now Iowa really seeming dominant again on the court. Where do you think this next point might play out?
We are looking at, and we mentioned earlier, the 5th set being that red zone of volleyball. Play the next play, keep being aggressive, going to your go-to. Keep in mind for Illinois, Philpott is in the front row, DeBoer is on the left side. Philpott is really good off a 1 foot slide.
Here we go, the Illini now in serve, receive. Passed up by Aguayo, it's tight, and a joust. Elam pushes it out to DeBoer, and it's kept alive by Kogan. Back over to Philpott, the slide, and it is out. Oh, and there goes our announcer dessert can. We won't need that anytime soon.
Well, being patient for DeBoer to swing outside and allowing Philpott the defense from the Illini, allowing the opportunity to score the point. This is a fun match. Both sides have something at stake. Illinois looking to stop their 3-match streak of loss, and Iowa looking for another road win.
There's a big swing and some scrappiness, but ultimately that is going to be a big kill for, I believe it was Whittingstall. But you were just kind of touching on it. I want to say both of these head coaches, both Chris Thomas and Jim Barnes, have talked about how resilient both of their teams are and how they have a very look-forward mindset. And they don't let a loss get ahead of them. That's why we're here in 5 sets. Here we see Illini in the net. Looks like it was Taylor DeBoer. And Chris Thomas is going to take this as an opportunity for a break and a quick timeout. We'll do the same here, take a quick break. Stay with us right here on Big in Lincoln. That's going to be a very tough matchup for them. Then against number 19, Penn State, they'll be heading over. Then Washington will be coming into town. Wisconsin will be coming into town, ranks number 11. Then we'll be flying out to UCLA. Finish off that little 5-game stretch. Now we're underway again. Illinois and DeBoer with a big swing, but Iowa follows it out to the bleachers. That's going to be a point. Iowa, again, some controversy with the coaches if that ball was in or out. But the officials say in and a big kill for Warden. Van Zandt with a huge serve. And DeBoer tips that one long. Illinois wanting the touch, but no call.
We see both sides really going to their go-to players. Right now, DeBoer swinging tough on the outside. You have Warden out here for Iowa. They're just really going to the go-to players.
Phelan making it there just in time. And a lot of a hustle from Muizio, but not enough to keep her team with the ball. Illinois now 9 points to Iowa's 12.
And one thing to keep in mind for Iowa's Ammeraal front row. Remember, she is a really aggressive attacker. So if the pass is good, Illinois probably need to be prepared for an attack.
Here goes Phelan with the serve. And a back row attack attempt. Chased down by Aguayo, but not in time. There she is again, Van Zandt, with her 19th kill of the day.
Van Zandt has really been impressive today. Out of the back row, she isn't necessarily always attacking out of the back row, but she's swinging confident. She's taking her team on her shoulders.
Push to the outside. Tompkinson going to swing into the net. It's going to be match point for Iowa. Illinois still with the timeout. Iowa with 2, but not going to use it. It's a short serve. Hirsch keeps it up, back over to DeBoer, puts it down. The Illini are staying alive here in the 5th set, and Hernandez back to serve.
Love the confidence of DeBoer. Game's on the line. She's swinging away. She's not trying to go for placement. She's just going for the kill.
Not going for placement, but what a perfect spot right at her passer's feet. Over, and there it is. It's going to be Warden to take the match for Iowa. Their first road big